nerd message board chat room groups. ETA is edited to add, but we're looking real world here, not nerd fantasy camp. Maybe around the D&D table, you can get away with that.
Oh my God, Steve just laying in body blows. Poor Annette's out there strutting around your backyard in March in lingerie, asking about decorative windows. You know, sometimes Steve's over at her hairdresser's, walking around in boxer briefs.
Done it 100 times. A great game.
That was a good one.
Yeah, quarterback, Fudgy McDaniel.
So an obese man?
No, very skinny.
Oh,
very skinny.
His parents named him Fudgy.
Oh, it's his nickname.
Oh.
Yeah.
They really named Pudgy?
No, Fudgeton. Come on, idiot. Heck of a name.
I mean, world class.
Fudgeton McDaniels. Nickname Fudgy.
Full name Fudgeton, as you clarified, who I believe you referred to as...
what was that in reference to? I don't know.
Kentucky College.
Kentucky versus
Iowa. Big game. That's what I get when I come to you for sports.
Mm-hmm, the big footy ball competition last weekend.
Oh, man, you must have been all over that game this weekend, Steve. Your Eagles.
Hold on. Oh, I was going to say, let me guess which game you're talking about.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, I'm assuming you were referring to Eagles-Saints last night. Disappointing. But, well, that's the level of sports fandom I have, where I can brush off an entire season, an entire disappointing season with, oh, get them next year, boys.
Would it surprise you to hear that you have a traitor in your circle regarding the Philadelphia Eagles?
In my circle?
One that I can almost guarantee you, Steve, will shock you to your core.
My circle?
I'd argue your inner circle. You have a traitor in your midst.
Oh, boy. Is it, like my brother?
It is our brother.
It is our brother.
It is our brother Mike.
Why do you say that?
Why is he I was having some conversation with him this weekend,
course,
as I do,
as you typically do with your brother.
Mike and I will chat on occasion. It had been a little while.
I talk to your brother all the time. What's his name? Randy.
He's not
Rudy.
My brother is
Rudolph.
No longer on speaking terms with you at last check.
Why is that? What do I do now?
I mean, he has heard the names you have called him that I have steadfastly defended him against, Steve.
All I do is repeat the names that you say right before we start recording.
Which, hey, that's what this podcast is. It's like Simon Says. We just repeat things from earlier.
Just a bunch of trash talk. Who said that?
Nobody sat on this podcast, but we just have spiral notebooks full of things we have each said earlier in the day and week, and we just save it to repeat them back later.
There are burn books.
But yes, as I've been known to do, I communicate with your brother. Wouldn't call it regularly, but it'd been a month or so. So
just whenever there's some good sport on.
Well, we'll catch up. He asked me. I believe he congratulated me on the birth of my son a while ago. It'd been a month or so since we chatted, so I decided to catch up with him this weekend. It's been a while since I've seen how my brother's doing.
Right. How's his job? He's still at that job at the old company?
The mill?
Yeah.
Down at the old mill.
Working for the man?
Yeah. Your brother, the embodiment of a Bruce Springsteen
I was gonna
song.
say, my brother's a Springsteen song all of a sudden.
Yeah. You know, that's funny, and of course we digress. But what's funny is you and your brother really couldn't be further from the embodiment of Bruce Springsteen song.
No, not at all.
But, I mean, Bruce Springsteen wasn't, though, was he?
If you had... Well, funny you should say that, because if you were to watch Springsteen on Broadway, which I've been telling you to watch for nearly a month, you would know that is a major part in the
Okay,
in
really?
the beginning of it. He references all of it. He basically references what we're talking about.
I think I'm going to read Born to Run first.
You're not even a fan.
Excuse you, I want to read his biography, his autobiography first.
But this is so much bigger. It's visual. It's musical.
Listen.
You get to listen to the man himself.
Listen here, Cliff Notes. I don't need to take any shortcut. Okay, this isn't high school Steve trying to finish the book report the night before it's due.
Don't you dare turn this around on me.
You are, I'll just watch the movie. It's just as good. That's junior high Cliff Notes Steve. I'm not that way. I want to get the full story. Unabridged, sir.
Right.
I don't need a 2.5 hour annotated version of the life of the boss.
So you got the book.
The book is in my presence.
How long you had the book?
March.
Okay, so you're easing into it. You don't want to dive in.
Listen,
But okay, in your defense, March was, let's see, that would have been right around that was like prime early baby time.
Sure, yeah,
because that's at that point. So you probably were reading like what to expect when. What is it called?
What to expect when you're expecting?
Right,
one of my dear friends, Matt, bought me How to Parent in a Z Generation or Genderless.
Whoa!
Yeah, they're all sitting on the shelf.
You didn't read any?
No,
you didn't do any reading before the big day.
I don't know if you were there when I told you the story about how I did 9 hours of classes.
Yeah, but I feel like that is it's like the beginning of the plot of every movie where there's like the newly married couple and now they're having a baby, and so mom comes home, or mom to be comes home from the bookstore, and she's got a big bag of books and gives them to dad to be, who says. Yeah, like this was the plot of a movie, right?
It was in Knocked Up.
Knocked Up.
That was why. Yeah, it was the big breaking point.
And then, like months later, she finds the books
untouched,
like leveling a coffee table or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think there were 2 books in the house ever. I don't believe neither her nor I opened them.
Really? How have you figured it out?
Oh, I haven't. I just don't go home. That's why I'm here. I figure she gets out of work around 7:15. So you haven't been home since what, like,
early October?
Yep. Yeah, October 17th.
Sleeping in a tent?
Yeah. Yeah, just tell her I'm working late. She thinks I'm cheating on her. I'm not. I'm just terrified to go home.
just still working. Like, can you go home now? You know we're closed now.
Yeah.
Now I got to put in the old work.
I'll tell you what. It is the most daunting thing I've faced it was last week, which was the first day my lovely wife, Katie, went back to work after 12 weeks off.
So you have a 12-week-old baby at this point.
Yeah.
And baby has never, for the most part, never been away from either you or your wife for more than a handful of hours.
Yeah, 3 hours when we go to a movie.
Right.
I mean,
or
that's really
even just
been it.
3 hours when he's sleeping in the other room and you're sitting in the living room.
Honestly, the longest he slept is like 5.5 hours, something like that, and that's been the longest he's been away. So, yeah, she went back to work last Wednesday. The stand-in daycare for that day was my mother, who was unable to take care of him. She had some surgery. So I ended up taking the day off of work. And that was the most terrifying thing I faced in years. The idea of my wife
hearing
leaving,
that is making my shingles flare up.
Myself and Reed, from 6:15 in the morning until 7:30 at night. Mm-hmm. I don't know what to do.
All right, so at that age, I would imagine he's still... There's basically like the staples in his life. So there is, I pooped.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Or I pooped.
Yeah, you missed one. I'm tired.
Okay.
Those are the 3 big ones.
Which is so crazy. Like, hey, kid, if you're tired, stop crying and you'll probably fall asleep.
And in all fairness, he does not cry. And this isn't going to become a dad talk podcast. Nobody wants that. Nobody needs it.
Especially me, because I will be...
Not.
I mean, you're going to have to find another dad to chit-chat
Steve,
with.
Not interested.
Yeah.
And again,
adjust in mic level. The podcast will never sound more polished.
And again, I understand that, and that's why I think we've done pretty well.
I feel like he has made 0 appearances outside of standard conversation. But this story, I think, is a special thing. It's just me and him all day, so it's terrifying. So, yeah, you realize you have those staples until you realize you don't really have the same thing that mom has to put put him to sleep.
Sure.
And
yeah, there are certain things that obviously you lack.
Well, it's, I'm sitting there looking at the clock because God, well.
Are you doing the math every time you look at the
90
clock?
90 minutes ago. He can't need to eat again. I just changed him. Why is he still crying? What's going on? Okay, I just need to call someone. Well, I mean, someone else has to take him.
911, right?
Yeah,
911's a good.
Yeah. So no, we made it, but it was stressful.
But was it every time you looked at the clock in your head, you're doing the math like, okay, it's 2 o'clock. She gets home. So okay, 5 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, that's as long as, and she gets done work at 7, so she's not going to be home till
7:30,
7:20, 7. Okay, so it's still 5.5 hours.
It's awful.
Okay, what movies can I put on?
Yeah, I was counting every minute, and it made it a little easier. Well, but I mean, that's absolutely correct. I was in the hospital with my mother, who was having surgery, and she, we're sitting there waiting for her to go into the operating room and look at the clock. Go, yeah. It's 12:30, Steve. I've made it more than 6 hours. I've only got to make it 7 more.
7 more hours.
And it's so defeating, but I need to do it. It's not like it's not that difficult, and I have people to help me. So, but yeah, it was a terrifying day. I'll tell you that.
Dumber people have raised kids.
Sure. Yeah. Less equipped people have made this work. So I was. It worked. I'm happy to do it. Happy to be able to spend time with him when a lot of parents in the situation couldn't. Yeah. So, but we digress.
By the way, it is Monday, January 14th, 2019. The year of our Lord. That may be the latest we've done the intro. No, actually, that's
11 minutes.
No chance.
Oh God. Yeah. So we digress. Mm-hmm. As I was telling you, your brother, my brother.
Yeah, your brother,
the traitor.
Yeah, a guy that I know.
And I apologize for putting him on blast here. I know he listens, but I was communicating with him, and him and I dabble.
Yeah. By the way, Mike, if you're upset about this, take it up with Kyle.
I mean, it's Steve's podcast. He headlines the bill.
It's true. That can all change just with 6 easy hours of graphic design, and I'll switch it back. Even though, as you've pointed out, it takes 2 seconds to make that logo now.
One filter on any phone within the last 4 years, and the logo is done.
Well, I guess I didn't have that filter.
So we chatted a little bit, and he sent me a picture. Mm-hmm. Because as of, I believe, a couple of weeks ago, sports betting is now legal in the state of Pennsylvania, Steve. Yeah. So he said, sports wagering is now legal in PA. There goes my kids' college funds. Mm-hmm. Sent me a picture of the slip that he bet. I look at it, and I understand sports betting, Steve, so I'll lay the basics out for the layman at home. Mm-hmm. He bet the Los Angeles Chargers at the New England Patriots. He took the New England Patriots to win by more than 3.5 points, which they did. Okay. Not a big deal. It was probably most of the money on that game was bet that way this weekend. Mm-hmm. What surprised me a bit was the next bet that he tied that bet in with. So he did a bet where if he wins both of these, he wins a little more money than he would normally.
Yeah, because I would imagine that the odds of that happening are much greater.
A little tougher.
So
yeah. He bet on his beloved Philadelphia Eagles, Steve, going on the road. New Orleans Saints defending Super Bowl champions.
You bet on them to lose?
He took the New Orleans Saints. Mm.
I mean, betting-wise, smart bet.
A season ticket holder.
Why even do that? Why just not bet? Just skip that one.
Hang on, I got to update this in my phone a second. Not Mike, it's Judas. So he texted me after the game. Said, "Well, that was a pretty poor way to win my bet."
Yeah, better be worth it. Hope that $40 really sits well with you.
Yeah, but he said
he's basically Pete Rose.
That's boy
betting on his own team.
Boy, you nailed it. Worse than Pete Rose, because Pete Rose never once bet against his own team, Steve. All of his bets were for the Cincinnati Reds.
That is what he.
Oh.
That is what he said.
Steve's brother Mike.
Oh boy, Mike, what are you going to do now? Spend the next 30 years denying it?
Well, Steve's brother Mike. Just call him Judas Hustle.
That's a great nickname.
And then in true Judas Hustle. That sounds like a professional, I don't know why, but like a professional dart thrower.
And next up, with a perfect bullseye record. I don't know what the hell dart people say. Judas Hustle. He got 320s in a row. And then he did that cool thing where he split the dart in half.
Let me ask you something as we digress into darts.
Yeah. Because why not?
Why is it, Steven, and there's no chance you can answer this, but why is the bullseye less valuable than the triple 20?
Triple 20, yeah. What's the bullseye worth?
50. The inner bullseye is 50. The outer bullseye is 25.
Stupid hobby.
Awful game.
I won't call it a sport.
No, God, no. Listen, blind men can do it. Okay, you're throwing it at a circle on the wall.
Yeah.
Listen, darts is the game equivalent of the piano.
It's basically, well, put it this way, it's a bar game. It's like a parlor trick.
Sure.
Like if they also have golden tee, it's on the same level.
Yeah,
if they have one of those bubble hockey things.
Yes.
It's bubble hockey.
If you're good at darts, just know you're the equivalent of a guy who can roll the golden tee ball the fastest.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good with this description on everything.
Let me ask you this. What's harder? Darts or skee ball?
Boy, getting that one up in the top corner of
right?
Skee ball is impossible.
Skee ball is harder.
Although with both of them, you're basically guaranteed points on every roll or throw.
True.
I mean, boy, I think that I don't know. This is a good web poll for this week.
This is a beautiful web poll. Boy, this came up weirdly organically.
All right, so how are we
What is more difficult to succeed at?
I think I have to say that darts are more difficult only because in skee ball, as long as you don't throw it too lightly, you're guaranteed points. You're always going to get the bottom 10. Darts, you can completely miss. You're getting
and
nothing.
Get zero.
Yeah. And again, with skee ball, I mean, yeah, if you just go like,
yeah,
and it rolls,
but that's also because
not even enough to hit the speed bump. Well, then, I mean, look, you got a whole bunch of other problems.
But that's also because that's a game meant for very young children. And we're here debating what's more difficult.
Right, yeah, so I think by default, darts loses this.
Yeah, it's not a good look. So that'll be the web poll on Facebook.com/Steve and Kyle or on Twitter @Steve and Kyle. What is a more difficult game, darts or skee ball?
Once again, the hard-hitting question.
Yeah. Boy, now I had even lost track where we were. Oh, yeah, well, I was asking why is it? Like, what idiot made it so that there's a spot on the board? Not just that, but there's, 3 spots? Four spots, Steve, that are higher value than the inner bullseye.
Are there
your triple 20, your triple 19, your triple 18, your triple 17.
Which one is the triple, the inner or the outer?
Inner, because it's the smaller rectangular spot.
Well, yeah, that makes sense, but apparently darts
nothing. It's madness. It's lawlessness in the dart world, and nobody's taken the time to look at this and fix it.
Why are we the first to bring this up?
The NFL was wise enough 15 years ago to say, hey, we need to video replay. We got these old white men who can't see a football if it crosses a goal line, so let's give them a video monitor to look at. Yet darts can't look at their own stupid scoring system and decide to fix it.
Preach, brother. Preach.
You're right. It's the piano of bar games.
I agree.
It's a real idiot machine. So I just wanted to let you know, you have a traitor in your midst.
Oh, it's disappointing.
At the next family gathering, don't take what did Judas give? Wasn't there some coins he got to turn on Jesus?
Oh, I don't know. I was thinking about somebody falling on a sword, but I think that's the. I think I'm mixing up my fairy tales.
Poor Zach. This fact checking this week's going to be a nightmare.
By the way, Zach, I did read your fact check from last week. I appreciate it. Both you and him tagged me in posts.
Oh yeah.
And I loved it.
Be sure to check that out. We retweet it every week, but you'd be better off if you just follow him at Zach Ruddock, at ZACKRUDDOCK. He posts that Steve and Kyle podcast fact check after every episode lately. So maybe he can get to the bottom why the scoring is such a nightmare in darts.
To really screw him one week, we should just have a fact book and just read. But some of them we keep true.
Sure.
Some of them we... fudge the numbers a bit.
Maybe we just pass back and forth the Guinness Book of World Records and just lightly discuss, the world's longest spit bubble.
Yeah, or like the fattest twins on motorcycles.
Well, I bet you they probably weighed, I don't know, anywhere between 836 pounds and 838 pounds.
Somewhere in there.
I mean,
could be anywhere.
Big gap. But again, we digress, Steve. It's important we get to it. I wanted to get to this early. We have some mail again. It's 6 weeks in a row we have some mail here. It's become a theme, and it's a theme that we need to discuss because what is technically APS 3.0, which at one point was a fairly empty folding table here,
has become completely overrun.
It's my personal hell.
It is.
This drives me nuts. I hate clutter.
Me too. Oh, wait a minute. First of all, you did mention that we were getting into viewer mail time.
Hey, folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig.
It's beautiful. Sounds just as good as the first time I heard
Woo.
it. But yeah, like you said, this table, it's 2 feet wide by about 5 or 6 feet long.
Yeah.
Used to just be a couple of laptops, an iPad, a mixer, and a couple of cords. Well, let's see. We got a beer koozie, beer to mints, a
bottle
package
opener,
of double stuffed Oreos, bottle opener, a couple Lucky Billy bars.
Still got a card from Philip that we haven't. I don't think I've moved it from when we opened his post. There's not 1 inch.
We got Choco Boy here in the middle.
Open
of the table.
Choco Boy,
tasty cakes, bags of stuff from Trevor that he gave us in Nashville when I was there last week, and then above you, guaranteed to fall any day now.
Yeah,
will probably be at a very inconvenient time when I'm sleeping or just something will go wrong causing that to fall. Just a shelf with over 400 peppermint patties, a couple boxes of cereal, and an entire assortment of movie theater candy. Ridiculous.
It's a nightmare in here.
Yeah.
I think
maybe we could do an eat cast
where
all we do is eat, and we see how much of it we can burn through.
I think the crowd will go wild. I think you're a little bit like me, though, Steve. I think this drives you nuts.
Absolutely. If this was a room that I came in more than once a week, then I would something would be done about it. But I'm down here for the most part for this podcast, and then maybe once or twice during the week I'll come down here for 20 minutes, a half hour, get some work done. But it's driving me kind of nuts.
Yeah, and I mean, you're a guy who I've sat at your desk at the radio station a lot over the years. You have a canister that just says things because you just don't want those things sitting out loose.
A place for everything and everything in its place.
And I totally agree with you. I hate it. I'll go home and, if we have stuff all over our dining room table or our countertop or whatever, it eats at me until I can put it away. So I know for a fact this studio desk is bothering you as much as it is me.
I think that when you leave here, you have to take half of everything.
Are we getting divorced?
No, but I just want it out of my house.
Whew. Boy, I thought we were having a podcast divorce and we had to split up the candy.
Well, let's face it. Those are the only assets from this podcast. Because still now, 30 months in, $0 made.
Hey, we're on it though.
Although we are talking into microphones that were paid for by T-shirts, right?
Yeah, no. The mics were American dollars of ours,
and then just the little mount for them.
One mount paid for in full.
One and a half.
One half of yours paid for.
Boy, we are going to turn a profit any day now.
Well, we figured it out. We were just talking off air about how we're going to turn this thing black.
Yeah.
Start rolling in the dough. Any day now.
Yeah. So now Jeremy dropped off this box here at the radio station.
Well, we can't ignore also what Trevor delivered to you.
No, not at all.
Friday in Nashville, your live show.
Let's get to Trevor's first.
Well,
Trevor,
thank you. Also, Steve, I think you can send a personal thank you for giving you something that you had to carry back with you.
This was all right because I had plenty of room in my bag.
Okay,
had no problem with it. Plus, I mean, I've already peeked inside to see what it is. So,
by the way, you see a lot of podcast gear down there Friday or no?
Disappointingly, no.
Okay, well, so seems like the leader in the clubhouse is still probably Portland, Maine, right?
Yeah,
at the shows.
The shine has worn off of us in the Music City.
Oh, Trevor, some Zachary Thin Mints, keeping with the mint variety.
So
cool, creamy, peppermint flavored centers covered.
So we now have 3 different varieties. So if we have somebody come over to the studio, like say we have a big name guest in studio, and we say, "Hey, you want to?" And they say, "Hey, can I have a peppermint patty?" We can say, "Yeah, we got Zachary's, Pearson's, or York's, or Andy's."
He sent over Andy's.
I don't consider them a peppermint patty.
No, that's very true. That's obviously a creme de menthe thin, Steve.
Yeah.
As everybody in the mint community calls them.
All of us minties.
You're a real plebe if you're walking around calling an Andy's a peppermint patty.
Oh, you loser!
You're a real jick. You're a real jerk. You're pretty much the outcast of the minty community.
Yeah.
If you're calling an Andy a peppermint
us
patty.
real minties, we really look down on.
But I believe these Zachary Thin Mints, we may have to try quickly. Now, Trevor had been updating us via Twitter about the journey to find these because I believe his wife claims steadfastly
that these are better.
This is the Cadillac
we could do a taste
of
test.
the peppermint patty community.
Okay.
So as you and I, I don't know,
foremost peppermint patty experts.
Yeah, we're chief minties.
Yeah.
We have the last
now let me see the packet. Oh, that's nice. They have they have the little slide out tray.
There you are.
Boy, that looks good.
So it's a Zachary.
Okay, so
Thin
it's a little
Mint.
smaller than
size-wise,
your York or your Pearson's.
Yeah.
We're talking quarter size.
Yeah, that's definitely
Maybe
that's
silver dollar.
That's absolutely a quarter. That's almost perfect.
Okay, now smell
chocolatey more than
exactly what I would expect, but yeah, it's got a little extra zing. I like the consistency of it so far, and
I think what you're missing is the Pearsons where they were just smushed.
Yeah, and always kind of sticky.
So this looks like if you look at the chocolate, the chocolate looks almost drizzled,
it was hand drizzled
on here.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
I think, man, if this tastes as good as the presentation,
we got a real barn burner.
It might be a new clubhouse leader.
I don't want to upset the minty message boards. Okay, the MMB is already a buzz over this podcast lately.
All right, you ready?
Let's try the Zachary Thin Mint.
Okay.
Okay. I have my thoughts ready.
It's got a sharp taste.
Yeah. I'm prepared to render, Steve, my chief minty opinion on the Zachary Thin Mint. Let you gather your thoughts.
Okay. I'm gathered.
Not as good as a York.
No. Tastes like a Pearson's.
It's closer to a Pearson than it is a York.
I don't like the consistency in the middle as much as the York. The York breaks more.
Yeah.
It's a little more dry in the middle, which makes it sound bad.
Yeah.
But I don't like the gummy consistency of the Pearsons and the Zacharys.
I feel like what I just ate.
Oh boy. Remember, this was a gift.
was a delicious peppermint patty.
Yeah.
Boy, do I have a good comparison for it, though. I'll tell you off air.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to offend anyone.
You know, weren't you saying before we recorded that you heard a guy make a comparison about peppermint patties earlier?
It's insane. I was walking in the house.
What did person X say?
Your idiot neighbor, the one who wanted your fence up so bad so he could throw stuff over it without you seeing.
Sure.
He was outside and he goes, "Hey, you guys had those thin mint patties?" I said, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Oh, and you said, "Oh, you mean Zachary's?"
And I said, "No, not yet, but hopefully I have some in the studio today." And we had a long talk about
all before.
Yeah, and we had a long talk about what the hell a studio is, and so I told him all about our podcast. And he said to me, he goes,
Wait, you didn't know about it? I thought that this is the most popular podcast within a 3-block radius of my house.
Well, a 60 share is still 6 out of 10, isn't it?
It's true. Yeah.
Not quite. Bringing in the nearby neighbors. Not the outliers.
Yeah. Yeah.
We do well in rural Steve's neighborhood.
Not so much.
Urban Steve's neighborhood's a little bit tougher to get a foothold. So,
right.
yeah, that's a hard area to crack. And he said, if you have these, you're going to have Elmer's glue injected in a chocolate wafer and sprayed with like toilet spray after.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That's harsh of my neighbor to say that.
Like a bottle of Glade sprayed on the Elmer's glue, injected in that.
Injected into a shell of
Injected into that chocolate shell.
You know, I still like the drizzle on the outside.
Beautiful design. Yeah. Beautiful design. Thank you so much, Trevor. Tell your wife she's an insane person. Kindly.
Yeah.
Kindly. I mean, I wouldn't want you to offend her. But thank you very much.
Yeah, there's something.
Oh, that's right. Oh, my.
Oh, these things. This is.
Oh, just that cat's meow. I know we've talked about it, but can we discuss the dark chocolate Kit Kat for a moment, Steve?
Nothing better.
There really isn't.
If you haven't tried one, look, I get it. For years, I was diehard milk chocolate.
Right.
I thought, what could be better than milk chocolate? I'd look
It's a classic.
Look at dark chocolate, and I think, doesn't really appeal to me.
Because you're racist.
No, not at all.
Just saying what it
Because
feels like.
Just didn't. No, but they're both chocolate.
Yeah. Just saying.
So, once now I will 100% credit Annette with waking me up to this, and people will say like, "Oh, you're so like, oh, what, you let the woman change you." Well, let me tell you that she only enjoys dark chocolate. So at first it was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll try some of that, and then, man, did I realize that I had been way wrong all those years, and that dark chocolate is leaps and bounds better.
Oh, it's absolutely leaps and bounds better. If you don't love a dark chocolate, turn this thing off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't want you listening.
No. Explain. I'll fight every one of you on social media this week. Tell me why you don't like.
Too.
Yeah, tell me why you don't like dark chocolate. We'll argue it out. I'll block you.
Mm-hmm.
Unblock you a few hours later.
Nikki, so help me God, if you bring cannolis into this, there's going to be a problem.
You are walking a tightrope right now, Nikki.
You give me a dark chocolate cannoli, and I will like that more than most people on this earth.
It sounds like we're going to have to go back to Boston.
That's the only place you
for
can
the
get
world famous. What was it? John's Cannoli Shop or something? What we went to,
something like that,
and see if they've got dark chocolate cannolis for us.
Okay.
Whew.
Yeah. Well, that trip's on for summer 2019.
Add it to the list.
All right, next we have...
Yeah, gift from our friend Jeremy, Steve. Now, you may remember Jeremy.
I know exactly who Jeremy is.
Longtime listener of your side gig as well.
Yeah.
Actually, you had a chance to meet him in person, and I believe I did as well last year at your bachelor party.
Jeremy and his brother, right?
Yeah, Steven.
Yeah, they're both huge supporters.
Didn't start that way. Jeremy always been a longtime fan of this podcast. He had to convert his brother, who pretty vocally disliked our podcast. Has come around. We actually need to get him on the phone. Steven, if you could go ahead and leave us a review. He may already have. We need to put him on the list and get him on the phone and ask what swayed him. But yeah, this gift from Jeremy. Steve, you he met you up with you at your bachelor party 1 year ago.
Yes,
bought you a beer at the Detroit Tiger game that you may or may not remember.
No, I do. I definitely remember that. Remember that.
Now, I know there's not a note in here because he sent us a Twitter message.
Now, this is something he just dropped off at the radio station.
Yeah, he lives locally.
He just wrote Steve and Kyle on it in big letters. Now the radio stations, as we've talked about many times, undergoing tons of renovations, so the staff is split between two different buildings. So the mail is going to the other building. And so I got an email from the lovely woman Bethany, who works at the radio station. She would send me a message like, "Hey, you got some mail over here. A package got delivered or whatever." So she sends me a message and says, "So there's a package here that says Steve on it, but it's addressed to Steve and Kyle, and I don't know if that's you or not."
Yeah, for people who want
big fan of the podcast, that Bethany.
Going forward, for people who want to send us stuff, we're gonna start just having you put attention SKP or SAKP, something like that. So
once everyone is back in the same building,
won't matter.
Which will be in the next couple of weeks. It'll be a lot easier because then it's not a walk across the street, down the block for completely meaningless reasons.
Right. Ugh. So Jeremy did send us a message. He said, "I didn't write any letter like everyone else. I was gonna, but he got stuck playing video games."
Okay. Sounds like a review to our podcast.
Yeah, right? I mean, I wasn't going to listen, but next thing you know, it was playing while I was doing literally anything else in the back. I would say
I had run out of, seriously, everything in the world that I could possibly do, and I thought, I guess I'll do this.
This can't be as bad as, slowly sticking a knife under my fingernails. I didn't write any letter like everyone else. It would say, "I hope you guys get as much enjoyment from these gifts as I do listening every week. Thank you for the laughs. Hashtag hot horse takes. Hashtag Team Mackinac Bridge. Hashtag Team Steak."
So not even just Team Suspension Bridge, but he's zeroing in on the Mighty Mac.
Well, I feel like we've had a discussion, or I have, with Jeremy about this, because he put hashtag Team Covered Bridge, hashtag Team Mackinac Bridge, which I'm not going to allow that fence sitting.
Yeah, that is...
You've got to get on one side or the other. This is the Civil War. I don't care about what side your brother's on. You're either pro-slavery, which would be covered bridges, or you're anti-slavery.
Wait, why
I just split it down the middle.
Is it the luck of the draw?
It was just a coin flip. I'm just over here trying to keep it fair.
Yeah, fair enough. Yep, fair enough.
Hashtag Lucky Billy, hashtag Fly Eagles Fly, hashtag I like beer Uncle Kyle. We all know Joey did not say.
No, he definitely
we
said
all know he cursed at
Uncle
me.
Kyle.
So let's dig in. And again, this is way too kind. Jeremy, as I joked to him in the Twitter messages, I believe he's supporting, I don't know, I think he has like 9 kids now.
Seriously?
I think he has like 5. And so to give us a gift is absurd. I think he's 22.
So he's got 5 kids and he's 22.
I have no idea. I mean, he looks to be in his mid-20s. I mean, for crying out loud, he was gallivanting at a Tiger game last August enough to buy you a beer.
Yeah, that's a young man's game right there.
I mean, I'm a 31
going to baseball games. Nobody does that past their mid-20s.
Traveling to the east side of this state? You don't do that.
Yeah.
You got a bedtime for crying out loud.
It's a dangerous life.
It's like some shredded up Christmas wrapping paper. Solstice paper.
Yep. So he wrapped that by ripping up wrapping paper.
I mean, you got to be a real jerk, right? I mean, real jerk.
I like the creativity.
Right next to Juan, the office mate who wrapped your gift in a tube of what was left of wrapping paper.
All right.
Boy, he could have just dropped off the bag.
Yeah. Probably would have been, it would have been a little easier. That's right. Okay, so this is all.
Yeah, this is all. Let me double check, but next to the literally remnants of gifts he wrapped his children's gifts in.
Very nice.
Get this out of our way, for God's sake.
We're becoming the person that hoards, saves everything, and soon enough, we're gonna our skin is gonna be molded to our couch. We're not going to be able to get up.
I mean, we can't get rid of these wrappers.
They're going to have to come in and dig a trench in my backyard and then bust through the foundation to get us out.
Nice gift bag. Oh, individually wrapped gift in there, Steve. My goodness, what could this possibly be? I don't know if these are Well, this is definitely My Little Pony wrapping paper, Steve.
Okay.
Looks like one for each of us here. Wow, do you think he wrapped these, or do you think his better half did?
Done extremely well.
Yeah, way more thought than I would have ever put into a gift for a podcast. Or my wife.
All right. Again, boy.
Just a superb wrapping. And again, gifts are far too generous. Please don't send them. If you want to, message us for the address. Whoa!
Oh, boy. I'm looking at yours, and it
Steve.
looks like yours is the same as mine.
Oh, boy, do we have...
Boy, I would have thought we just talked about this last week.
We may... Yeah, I think we did. 2 weeks ago? Yeah, it was before New Year's, because, remember, we spent our New Year's Eve celebration at my house watching Pac Blue.
Have you
No.
jumped back into that at all?
No Mario
Okay.
Lopez. I'm not interested. Well,
Terry,
this is just
Hulk Hogan.
outstanding.
Thunder in Paradise collection.
Wait
the
a minute.
3-disc set.
Wait a minute. I thought, Steve, it was seasons of a television show. Wasn't it one season of a TV show? Did you know there's 3 movies?
Wait, what?
There are 3 what appear to be feature-length films.
Get the hell out of here.
One, first of all, the fact that number 1 goes 104 minutes is absurd. That's 1 hour and 44 minutes.
Yeah,
and
that was 1993.
got
104
Terry,
minutes.
obviously.
94, they cut back
Yeah.
to a brisk 90. Oh, man. And then you could tell that the end was near. Because later in 1994, the third one was released at just 88 minutes.
This is far too generous, Jeremy. I cannot wait to put this in and watch all 3 Terry Hulk Hogan's.
That's not his name. His name is Terry Bollea.
Oh, it gets a little racy in the third one. See, they had to bump it up to PG-13. Well, this is fantastic. What a nice gift. Thank you so much, Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Thunder in Paradise collection. Far too kind. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's fantastic. Can't wait to well, I guess I got to set up my DVD player now.
You think Annette will watch that with you? If you're sitting there
Not
and you're
a
like, hey, let's watch a movie, and she says, oh, okay, what do you want to do? And you just say, I got one. You just go put it in without telling her.
I was going to throw in some TIP. What do you think?
And just like if you don't tell her, you say, yeah, I got one. I've been thinking of watching
it's this
this for a
action
while.
adventure. I heard it was really good.
Yeah, it's got really good reviews.
Yeah.
Pop that in. How long do you think she lasts?
2 minutes. Because she'll know what's up.
First of all,
is this that stupid movie with Hulk Hogan you were talking about?
she was less than impressed at our attention span towards Pac Blue on New Year's Eve.
We were focused.
It's a good program.
We were laser focused.
There's a lot going on. Rollerblader, hooligans. There's a lot going on.
Rollerblader graffiti artists.
If we haven't talked about it enough, that's Pacific Blue. It's on Amazon Prime. If you have it, please indulge accordingly. As it's worth it.
And tweet at us with hashtag #PacBlue. We want to hear your thoughts on it.
But he wraps up the message, Steve, which again, thank you, Jeremy, for that generous gift. See you in Ohio, boys.
What?
Now, a lot of people are probably scratching their skulls wondering what the heck that's about. And we're here to tell you today, Steve and I, and this is no joke, there's an update on the billboard.
We are one email reply away.
I have to send off, let's do this. Here's the money. Boom.
In a little while, when we finish recording, you're going to open up an email from Joe the Billboard Man.
Yep, Senior Account Executive Joe. We're going to try to get him there at the billboard unveiling.
We're going to select from a list of like 5.
Yeah, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different billboards all around Van Wert.
Does he give the stats on them?
Yep, it's got weekly impressions. I'll even say this.
And they're
Steve,
all the same price?
We're moving up in the world. Okay, I'm not kidding you right now. 2 of them are illuminated.
So people will be able to see it at night?
At night.
Well, it's obvious that it's one of those 2.
You get ready. Because coming Q1.
Look, Van Wert. We've heard you. We've heard the cries.
The outpouring of support on social media.
I still think that what we do is we drive there, we take the Jeep, All right, because it's got a decent amount of cargo space in the back.
Sure.
We set up a mobile studio.
Oh, we have to podcast from it.
And we record a podcast
in front of the billboard.
In front of the billboard.
No question. No question. Now, here's where I won't be able to help you. You're going to have to drive both ways. I believe that's a stick shift.
No, it's not.
Automatic. Oh, it's automatic.
Automatic.
Whoa.
Automatic.
That would have been nice to learn.
That would have been, yeah.
Middle of Ohio, Steve's 1-year-old rebuilt Jeep.
The clutch blows out.
Teaching me the ropes. We have... So, get ready, because Q1, Steve, 2019, this year.
So, the billboard will be up this quarter?
I think we're shooting for March. You and I got to put our calendars together.
We do.
We got to pick a Saturday.
It's going to be up for a full month.
It's a full month.
What?
Coming in March or April, and we are going to give this plenty of headway. I would say, maybe not next week. In 2 weeks' time, we should have full details on where this billboard will be and on a date. We want everybody listening to meet us down there.
Hold on.
Take pictures with Steve, me, Steve's hair, and we're all going to Frickers. We're getting some chicken.
And some pond scum.
Whoever didn't donate's getting pond scum. The rest of you are getting the first round of drinks on Steve and I.
Can we just say that, I mean, do you think that Joe, our billboard man, will be able to give us the exact date that billboard goes up? Like, will he be able to say... Or I don't, because I don't know how the billboard industry works. Is it like, oh yeah, it'll go up either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday?
No, if I'm paying for 1 month, I want exact day and date.
But if we know, okay, it's going to be up on Saturday, and they start putting it up at noon, and it takes 2 hours. Can he get us that specific information? Because I swear to God, I'll drive there so I can set up a camera, and I'll just sit in the car and do a time lapse
of
as they tear down so-and-so law firm and then put up the Steve and Kyle podcast, voted #1 podcast in Van Wert.
I hope Reed's ready for a car ride and a hell of a day in Ohio, because we're making the trip, Steve. Listen, I feel like we're in with Joe. I think we can get this intel. Also, be prepared. Get your cameras ready.
What's Joe's last name begin with?
S.
Jason. Joe's son. I was hoping it would be B, because I was going to call him Jobo.
Oh, J-Bo.
J-Bo, yeah.
Yeah, he could go...
but J-Son.
I mean, we could go J-Stan.
J-Stan. I like that. I wonder if he likes that.
He looks in his 50s or 60s. I can't imagine he'd enjoy that.
So he probably won't be out there.
Would your dad like being called the Hobster? Think about that age group and that type of nickname. How would that go?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe. Oh boy! Speaking of which, you just reminded me of something.
You want to give him a call?
No, but I do need to.
I'll give you I'll monologue it in, and you say, "Hey, Hobster, it's your boy Steve-O."
It's your boy Steve Bone.
Steve Areno.
Yeah. Oh boy,
Is it his birthday?
No, just something that I totally forgot to do. All right. So anyway.
So again,
coming
March
soon.
or April, that's the goal. Steve and I will pick. We have 6 options. All directions, by the way. Facing west, facing east, facing... Actually, none of them facing north. If we really want to be difficult, we could ask him for one facing north.
Yeah.
But get ready. Van Wert, Ohio. It'll be on a Saturday in March or April. And again, we'll work around Easter holidays and things like that, whenever that may be. And we want everybody who can make that drive or within earshot to meet us there, take some pictures of us in front of 10 feet 6 inches tall by 22 feet 9 inches wide of our stupid faces.
Yes.
On a billboard in Van Wert, Ohio. Again, that is coming soon. And then we're all going to Frickers. We're getting chicken and drinks. And then we're going to be on our merry way.
I can't wait.
This is going to be amazing. This is going to be absolutely amazing. We told you we weren't misleading everybody. Everybody who's donated. That's from Zach on down. Zach donated way too much money. As your money is safe and sound.
The money's actually accruing interest.
It is.
So
it's gaining interest.
If this all falls through, you're all getting back your investment plus a little bit.
Yeah, we'll bring checks to Van Wert.
And that's exciting. That's really
I can't wait. I can't wait. This is actually real. I don't know. We're 100 and whatever episodes into this thing. I never once thought, not just this podcast, Steve, but in my life, that I would see my face or some representation of my face on a 23-foot wide billboard. So now the real work begins. We have to figure out a design and make sure to get the dates nailed down.
We may have to call upon Philip.
Yep, Philip.
I still like the idea of using the original logo.
Because you spent so much time on it?
Spent a lot of time on it. But, well, look, that's what people know us by.
Sure.
I mean...
People.
Lots of people. Look, it took a lot to get to be Van Wert's #1 podcast.
Totally, I don't know this. So this is a legitimate question. Can we get in trouble for saying that?
Somebody tweeted that at us, and they said, oh, no, that would be like false advertising. Has anyone ever gotten in trouble for false advertising?
Well, it's like we're advertising like this podcast is going to save your life.
Yeah, it's...
and how can you check that anyway? Like, is there a... Like, not... So you have the FCC for over-the-air.
Yeah.
What do they have for podcast checks and balances?
Well, can't we just put a little asterisk next to it, and then at the bottom right, no, it's not?
Yeah, I think we need to make that font, even on that billboard, like a size 4.
Okay. Yeah, well, I guess we'll have to look at it maybe when we called Jay-Son or
Joe Stan.
We'll have to ask him if we can just make any claim we want on the billboard.
Oh, this is exciting. I'm legitimately excited for this. I can't wait. I hope a bunch of people can come meet us.
It's going to be you and me, man. It's going to be
I'm okay with that, too,
you and
though.
me sitting in the back of my Jeep like crisscross applesauce with mics in hand.
I think we tell people, if you're coming, bring a bag chair, bring a cooler, live pod, certain time, and then we just wait for the thunderstorm to roll in so it doesn't work.
Yeah, because in my mind, I'm picturing that it's going to be cold, obviously, March. It's going to be rainy or snowy.
You want to be a buzzkill about it?
Maybe we can set up shop in that like feed store parking lot right across from Frickers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still holding out hope for Frickers. They're going to come around and give us the prime spot at 3:30 on a Saturday to do a live pod.
Do you think that if we just call them and say, "Hey, would it be cool if we did this?"
Yes.
They'd oblige?
Yes.
Do you think we'd have to explain what a podcast is?
We'd have to explain. Yeah, we would. But I think if we told them you're going to have anywhere between 2 and 8 additional people in your bar, I think they would be over the moon.
Do you think would that make you nervous if we were sitting there just
horrified? Steve, are you kidding me?
Like if we were just sitting in a booth, we say to them, "Look, we're going to show up. We have a couple of microphones, a little mixer. We could probably even consolidate all of this down into a much smaller package." If we said to them, "Can we just sit over there in the corner?" Do you think that, like the guy sitting at the bar at 11 a.m. sipping on some suds, do you think he's going to turn around and pay us any attention at all?
I think so, because but the key is we need to have one of those way too heavy speakers that we just put in between our feet. And it just blasts our voices.
Oh, so you actually want to broadcast the audio within the...
Absolutely. What else are they listening to at that time of day? Hank Williams Jr. on the jukebox.
I wonder if they'd be okay with it.
I think this is a place that has an area in the corner set aside, maybe a little raised platform where they host karaoke every Tuesday night or whatever, that is going unused. That if we said, hey, we're going to bring you 8 people, and then we really got to put our heads together and get 8 people there. And we try, and I think we asked, hey, do you have an audio setup? We're just doing a 90-minute pod. Clean. No cursing.
Let's see.
We need to email Frickers management.
Contact.
We're going to do it? I think we do it. Yeah, I think we do. I think we send them a note I think you need to
Oh,
fake.
well, this is going to go to the corporate office
I don't want that.
in the metropolitan wonderment that is Miamisburg,
Hey!
Ohio.
Is that right in your south west beach?
Yeah, that's right down the street from Los Angeles to Indiana. No, that is Miamisburg, Ohio.
I think we even still send it, but I think you pose as a representative
I'm absolutely
of
gonna
the Steve and Kyle
I'm gonna say
podcast.
my name is like Jay Strand.
I mean, you could just pick a normal name. I don't think this is getting checked out, is it? You think Fricker's corporate is going to double check Jay Strand if he's a legit?
Well, I mean, if his name was Doug, I wouldn't email him back. But his name's Turbo McAwesome.
You're right. You know what? If you're going to get an email back, your name's not Doug. You're right. Your name has to be Turbo McAwesome. So, okay.
Done.
So keep your ears peeled for this. Details
Wait, hold on,
coming.
let's see, because they... let's see. Location, Frickers Van Wert, obvi.
Yep.
Let's see. Reason, general inquiries, dining experience and feedback, gift cards and online store inquiries,
Snooze.
catering inquiries, career inquiries.
Well, we're not there
so I
yet.
guess dining experience.
I would
and-
just do general. Can't you do general?
yeah, general.
Just do
inquiries.
general. Yeah, and just say, hey, we're gonna, we'll figure it out. We'll iron it out. So stay tuned. More details in the coming weeks. But
I think
again, this
could
is
work.
real.
How cool would this be if it ends up being like one of those radio station events that I've been to 1,000 times?
Yeah.
Where you're at the local cell phone hut because they have a 2-for-1 deal that weekend on the whatever Samsung phone. Mm-hmm. You show up, and this was booked by somebody in the corporate office, and the boots on the ground, the people that are working in the store, have no clue you're supposed to be there. So you come walking in with your big dumb speakers and your bin of tchotchkes to
Got
give away.
800 koozies.
Yeah.
300 bottle openers.
Yeah, and halfway through the setup, they wait until you're halfway through the setup to say, yeah, what do you do? Who are you? Why are you here? Oh, yeah, we got this event. We're here for the next 2 hours. Oh, no one told me. And then it's just weird for the next 2 hours. Because they're looking at you while they're trying to sling their wares, and you're over there spinning the hits, and you got the prize wheel so somebody can win a bottle opener.
If you think that's bad, wait till you see our live event in Van Wert. First of all, we're gonna have to get a head count, so we got to pick a date. These are all details you and I can iron out off air. But again, I promise you, details coming very, very soon on the most absurd thing this podcast has ever done, and that's coming from a group of people who flew to Boston for 12 hours to visit a bar. This is the most absurd thing we've ever done.
Pretty dumb.
I'm so excited.
Me
World
too.
tour,
Oh, I
tour
can't
shirts.
wait.
Throw them up on Redbubble.
I think that there's a chance
Oh boy.
that we get world tour shirts, and we could get Frickers to foot the bill for them.
Oh my gosh. Steve's got aspirations that I think are, well, absurd, unreasonable, not nearly attainable.
Look, I shoot for the stars. All right.
That's right. This podcast stars is t-shirts being paid for by a chicken franchise.
By not us.
Literally anybody else, but by a chicken franchise in a county in middle Ohio.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, this is like, look, we don't have to rely on this. If it all falls apart, that's fine. Okay, I'm not. That's why it's kind of nice. There's no pressure to this podcast.
Yeah.
If everybody stopped listening tomorrow, we're out. What, like the $10 that the rest of the month of hosting is going to cost us?
Yeah, and I'm still putting that billboard up.
Oh yeah, and it'll say farewell, the Steve and Kyle podcast, formerly Van Wert's #1 local hometown podcast.
It'll look like a headstone. Have the dates we started, the dates that ended. Absolutely, man.
This is great. This is exciting.
I'm excited. So, yeah, again, stay tuned.
So much good stuff going on. We got a billboard. We got Thunder in Paradise on DVD. It's
soon.
like it's 1 and 1A.
We've got updated graphics from our dear friend Zach for this year's version of the National Throat Goblin Championship bracket. That's coming up very soon. We're going to have to pare that down to 32, Steve. That's going to be the number this year. This Throaty 2, I believe, is what...
The Throaty 2?
The Throaty 2 is what Zach referred to it as. That is coming up very soon. I have all of them pulled. We'll start putting that together. That'll be very early March, so stay tuned for that as well.
Can't wait. Absolutely can't wait. That is going to be a pretty big deal. Now, I noticed you were hoping to do an update on something that is, well, I don't mean to brag, but it's kind of taken over. It's got a mind of its own.
Been a little while, hasn't it?
This is something that was actually, Dax Shepard?
Sure.
Dax Shepard from, he does his podcast, Armchair Expert.
The Armchair Expert, where he digs deep into people's lives.
Married to Kristen
Bell. Way out kicked his coverage, right? Like, we can agree on that?
Come on. Ridiculous.
Like, that's absurd.
Yeah. Insane.
Like, that's a grimy-looking man.
So he was recently on Ellen, the Ellen DeGeneres daytime talk show. Mm-hmm. And it seems like he may have gotten word of Operation Cooper Hair, my lifelong dream to have the hair of Bradley Cooper
asterisk since October
as Jackson Maine in A Star Is Born.
Yeah.
Because take a listen to this clip. I got it up on the Jumbotron behind you if you want to look.
Oh.
I like your haircut.
Thank you, and I like your beard.
Oh, thank you so much.
And it looks soft, too.
Can I tell you about this look?
Yeah.
Did you guys see Star Is Born?
Yes.
First of all, it's
A Star
Is Born.
Yeah, okay.
So
don't
act like you're you're a big fan.
It's just an embarrassment. That's what it is.
See Star Is Born?
Yes.
It's a great film.
It is.
Bradley Cooper.
Yes, he's
What
fantastic.
a babe. What?
Now, I'll agree with him there. Bradley Cooper, complete babe in the movie.
Oh, the poll agreed with us, Steve. We had one outlier, Sarah Frenchy, toasty idiot,
Boy.
trying to argue. That's rude. Trying to argue with us and say that he wasn't, but obviously everybody agrees.
Yeah.
Is he your new crush?
Well, we're old friends, so yes. This is kind of a bit of a spoiler alert, but, in the film, through the course of the story, it becomes obvious he won't be able to be in a sequel, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
Sheesh.
You're getting ready for it.
I'm getting ready.
Yeah. Can you do it's a gruffer voice?
Give me something good.
That's not even a line, is it?
No. Tell me something, boy.
Yeah.
Tell me something, girl. There's nothing. Give me something good. Who is this imitator? Listen, I don't know how long he's been doing the podcast, Steve. I don't really care. I've been doing podcasting since 2010.
Whoa.
I feel like I'm grandfathered in.
Are you throwing out your stats?
Oh, I'm bringing out the rap sheet. So
you got, four different podcasts?
Yeah.
3.
It's. I think it's 4.
Okay, because you had Riding the Pine.
Right. I had a little off topic was the first one.
Off topic.
But a little off topic had a couple of different casts. We had Andy 2 times involved. I had Lurch involved.
Lurch. Oh, that's right. Lurch was on there.
I forget.
Yeah.
And then I did it with a couple other people as well, or maybe it was just Lurch, and then I had Riding the Pine, obviously my widely successful sports podcast.
TJ and
White Lightning TJ and Nader Tot.
Yeah.
And now I'm here. Okay, so by proxy, Steve.
In the big leagues.
By proxy, Steve, my podcasting since 2010 brings you into the fold so we can rightfully say, stay in your lane. Okay?
Yeah, Dax.
He's doing his Weird Addict podcast where he rambles about feelings. Okay, not interested. So you step on our toes there. You come in late to the game, you use your weird name, and you try to jump all over us. Not acceptable. Second,
Not at all.
you try to jump on, again, way too late
Oh, yeah.
to the A Star is Born
Not Star is Born.
fandom.
Because when that movie wins an Oscar this year, they're not going to say, and the Oscar goes to Star is Born.
No.
They're going to say the Oscar goes to A Star is Born.
Now, Steve and I are day one starlets. That's what we call ourselves on the Star is Born fan message board, starlets.
Man, we are on lots of message boards.
I don't know what you're doing when we leave here, but I just start typing up on the boards, making hot takes for the day based on different movies.
Yeah, what's your handle on the Starlet message board?
Oh, Jackson May I? Yeah, kind of a play on Jackson, Maine.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Mine's Jackson, Maine Squeeze.
That's right. Couple of starlets. Talking shop. So you jump on late, and not only do you jump on late, you get everything wrong.
Yeah. It's disappointing. The hair's way off. He's got the part. It's got to be more pushed back.
Oh, God, he's wearing his own merchandise
Yeah,
on this
exactly.
show.
He's got his own shirt on. It's just, Dax, it's a bad look. It's a bad look,
Well,
man. Look, we'll accept the apology,
Yeah.
but just back off, all right?
Yeah, I expect a formal one, preferably written. And I know what's going to happen here. I know we have some listeners that cross over with him.
Please do everything you can to get him to mention us.
Oh, for God's sake, if Dax Shepard even tweeted at our general direction, even if it's the middle finger emoji.
Dax, I would love it if you tweeted us a middle finger, but I would love it even more if somebody can clip this 2-minute, 3-minute portion. Send it over to Dax. See what he has to say about it. And then, Dax, you can go to...
Hell?
No. That's mean.
Sorry,
You can,
I'm all riled up.
Just find us at Steve and Kyle on Twitter. You can see what a real Jackson, Maine looks like. See what I did? M-A-I-N-E and then M-A-N-E.
A real Jackson, Maine. I mean, because even that voice, if you're just talking, say, do you think you could do a little bit of I want you to come to Memphis with me? Or do you not think you have that in there?
I don't.
Because I feel like it's just a little bit like that.
Not as twangy, but you know what I mean?
Like the dude in Sling Blade.
You think so?
Carl.
Oh, boy. Oh, no. I feel like you could... listen, if you pair the voice...
You want to come to Memphis with me?
See, that's not bad. It sounded like you were boozed up there.
I've been meaning to tell you, been meaning to comment for a long time. We digress, by the way, about what I think might be my favorite song on the A Star is Born soundtrack.
Sure.
It's Alibi.
Right.
And there's a point in there where the first time I heard it, I said, Bradley Cooper portraying Jackson, Maine. Mm-hmm. He did his homework because there's a line, it's like, I won't lie, I can't lie without an alibi. Mm-hmm. But if you listen to how he says without an alibi, he kind of garbles it together.
Oh, it's all one,
to make it evident to the moviegoer, to the super fan, to the Jackson, Maine squeeze.
Mm-hmm. With starlets.
That he has sung it millions of times, thousands of times throughout his career on stage so that it comes out without an alibi. And I thought, that's a man who's dedicated to his craft right there.
I mean, he took vocal coaching to get his voice where he needed it. Mm-hmm. Absolute.
Through that incredible Maine.
Oh, but we digress. Steve, you've been on this venture, and now that the billboard is close, your hair...
God, I feel like I'm going to have to tie some weights to it to get it to
drop?
To grow quicker.
I mean,
what
if I'm you...
Can you give me a score? If you would say, A, B, C, D, F, we're in grade school again.
Sure.
What do you give me at this point in time, taking into account the look I'm going after?
Sure.
The amount of time I've been doing it.
Mm-hmm.
and just just give me an overall score. What do I got?
Well, I think taking into account everything of where we're at timeline-wise of where you want it to be by March or April, which is you want the Jackson main.
Yeah.
I think you're in the A- category.
Whoa!
I mean,
I thought for sure I was getting like C+.
If you're looking at, let's call it 8 weeks, Steve. Let's call it 8 to 10 weeks right now away from possible public debut at the Billboard in Van Wert, Ohio. I think you've got plenty of time to make that thing. It's going to drop naturally.
Well, that's good news because I have a major announcement.
Oh,
I got my hair cut on December 11th, 12th, somewhere around there. It was a couple weeks before
Sounds like
Christmas.
a month ago.
I think that might be the last one.
Whoa.
A while. I think
no more trims
I've
even.
finally gotten the top to the right length.
Yeah.
To where I have to start letting the back and the sides go.
Fill that in.
Fill it all in because it's got to be right.
Right.
And I may do the neck cleanup, may do the beard trims a bit.
Sure.
But I think that the hair has stopped growing. Or stopped not growing. Stopped getting cut.
You're lucky enough in a few weeks A Star Is Born comes out on all platforms and whatnot, so you can get a live look, a comparison, maybe a rendering of where you are.
We're definitely going to do like you pull it up on a big screen.
Sure.
Like a good scene from the movie, and then I'll be superimposed or I'll be standing in front of the TV just so we can get I feel like I'm going to be disappointed.
Well, you're not going to be able to hit it exactly. Obviously, nobody's hair grows in identical to another person, especially someone as handsome, Steve.
Can we shoot for the end of March?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay. That gives me 2.5 months.
Again, we're going to work around Easter holiday stuff, whenever that is.
Whatever.
Are you kidding me? You've got that veal loin or whatever you guys have. Traditional Easter garb.
Veal loin.
Is that not a part of the baby lamb kill?
I'm sure it is. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone like referring to it as a meal.
Why don't they have like veal tenders or like lamb tenders? You get your chicken tenders.
That's a good point.
Like your even like ribs have riblets.
Yeah.
Like what's a guy got to do to get some veal tenders with some barbecue sauce? Yeah.
I guess that would just be a rib. Huh. Well, no, because a rib has a bone.
You know what? That's why Zach listens. Get on it, Zach.
Yeah, Zach. Let us know. Let me know where I can get some pig tenders.
Or veal loin.
Or veal loin.
So the two main things.
Does veal have loins?
Like gird your loins? I think I definitely screwed that up. I was thinking like tenderloin. It's definitely veal tenders. Not loin. But listen, not my job. No. I'm here to spout off. Zach can do the hard work.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, we're 10 weeks out. 10 weeks out.
I'm excited. So, yeah, it's there. Give me a little side profile there, Steve. Yeah. You know what? Nope, I just dropped my phone. Let me get that so I can at least take a photograph for you.
Hold on, before you start recording, I got to pull up my camera, turn it into selfie mode, make sure. Now, you saw the picture that I sent you on Saturday. When Annette and I were in Nashville.
Yeah, the Grand Ole Opry.
We were at the Ryman Auditorium, which was the original home to the Grand Ole Opry. They've since moved, but they were setting up.
Jimmy around there.
They were setting up for a performance that night because the Grand Ole Opry every now and then they come back to the Ryman, do their performance, and held up my phone, took a selfie of me and Annette there, and first thing I said to her was, I got to send this to Kyle because look how good my hair looks.
This is a great Cooper hair day.
It is a great Cooper hair day. You replied, you agreed, and see, the only thing I'm not happy with is this big gray here on the side, but that's all right.
You thinking about putting some paint in it?
I want
for
to.
The official debut, maybe a little Just for Men?
I want to. Maybe just get some brown shoe polish.
Oof. I mean, boy, I guess if you're going to go, is the price difference that steep between that and like a Just for Men?
Just for Men's like $9-10.
You get that shoe polish down the road at the shoe repair shop, $3.99.
Yeah, it's cheap.
Yeah, let me get a picture of this, Steve.
Yeah.
Give me a little side profile. Oh my God, it's as glorious as I hoped. Oh yeah.
Good.
Yep, those are beautiful. Be posting those on social media at Steve and Kyle and Facebook.com/Steve and Kyle, so be sure to check those out.
On Snapchat too, right? Our Snapchat.
Yep. Do you know the name?
We should probably Steve Kyle Pod.
Oh wow, I thought there was a 0% chance you'd remember that.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, we don't use that. You send us anything there, it's worthless. Find us personally on Snapchat.
Maybe we'll do an Instagram
At the Geologist 13 and the Geologist 14
or 12
or 12. Just friend them all.
yeah. Worst case scenario, you get former Free Beer and Hot Wings intern Dr. Stupid.
Yeah, that's a good looking dude.
He's a legit
doctor,
now.
actual doctor. So be sure, and he's a looker.
Yeah,
he's a real looker.
He's engaged.
We could do an Instagram, but do you have pictures to post?
Well, we just take one every week of just this,
just the mess,
and then we just tag it like recording. Yay! Hashtag.
Yeah, we could do that.
Something.
Steve and Kyle, find us on Instagram. I'm sure that's not taken.
We'll check that out after we're done recording.
Speaking of which,
yeah, you got to hit the dusty trail.
Yeah, I got to hit the road. I've got a young one at home, and we burn too much time talking about anything else to get to the Fast Five. So stay tuned for next week's Fast Five with 10 1-week out of date items that Steve and Kyle discuss.
That's all right. Mine, I only had 4 anyway. I was scrambling a bit. Definitely scrambling a bit. All right. Again, sorry for the short episode. We're going to get back on track. We're just kind of easing into 2019.
Yeah.
The worst thing that we could ever do is set your expectations high.
Hey.
That's why we will always be 1 episode a week.
Yeah.
For roughly an hour to 2 hours.
Yeah.
Anywhere in between. I don't want to ever say we're going to give you more.
Right.
Because then
it's expected.
And that is just not something that I am capable of doing, is fulfilling expectations in any aspect of my life.
There's going to be some episodes like that going forward, at least for a while, where I'm not going to be, time constraints with my son at home.
Now, I'm hoping that there will be a time when Reed is with us here in the studio.
Sure.
That almost happened today, but due to my delicate medical condition, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Don't worry.
It's the A bit next week.
Don't you worry. Apparently, there's some common ground between us other than this podcast.
Brethren.
Because other than that, we are nothing alike.
Yeah, I want nothing to do with you.
Share no common interests. Don't even like each other.
Yeah. Outside of this podcast, could do without you.
The only reason that you're still here is because it's in your phone every week to come over.
Yeah, I needed an outlet after I left the space program and decided to hook up with this train to nowhere.
All right, you can download, subscribe, and review the show on iTunes, the Apple Podcast app, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, Libsyn, SteveandKyle.com, SteveandKyle.com/merch. New designs going up. Hopefully,
a new one will be up by the time you're hearing to this podcast.
All right. Sounds good. Facebook.com/SteveandKyle, on Twitter @SteveandKyle. And we will talk to you next week. See ya.